Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 86 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to be a revelation film, answering many of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, while also creating brand new questions at the very beginning of this movie that will be answered at the very end of Episode 9. And on top of all of this, we do know that this film is very important to Disney and Lucasfilm and to the Star Wars community around the world. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the very end of the third act of this movie, this is where things begin to get very intense for The Rise of Skywalker. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be standing in front of Palpatine sitting on his throne, which is said to hold a glossy red color, where Palpatine is said to eventually get up from his throne as he walks toward Kylo Ren and Rey. Now, one of the sequences is said to involve Palpatine offering Kylo Ren to see a vision of his potential future, where as Palpatine rests his hand on Kylo's head, it's explained that Kylo begins to see a vision of himself with an updated version of Darth Vader's mask lowering over Kylo's face, where the vision is said to be overwhelming for Kylo to witness, where he takes a step back. It's explained that this is part of Palpatine's manipulation at the end of the third act of the film to try and make Kylo Ren fall to the dark side further so that he could see his power for himself in a secret beneficial way. Additionally, it's explained that the vision that Kylo Ren witnessed is a slightly older version of himself with slicked back hair with the Vader mask lowering over him, where Rey is also said to see the full story of how her parents were killed when Palpatine offers to show her in order to fuel her with anger so that he too could use her power in a beneficial way that is currently unknown. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to be a film that's going to include many different twists and turns and revelations that are going to come out of left field for the Star Wars fans, especially for the characters of Rey, Kylo, and Palpatine, since these three characters really are going to be the main focus of Episode 9, hence why they are the main focus on the teaser poster that we got a couple of weeks ago. So, this particular moment is all said to take place inside of Palpatine's brand new throne room, and yes, he is going to have a brand new throne room in this movie, which is very interesting because we do know that, with every single Star Wars trilogy, we do have a throne room sequence, and that's exactly what they're trying to do once again, besides Snoke's, affiliated with Palpatine this time, right? So that's the great thing, is that this particular scene is said to be a moment in which Palpatine offers potential futures and actual visions of the past for both Rey and Kylo Ren in between their lightsaber duel and before they actually battle Palpatine in a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel. But the biggest question of all is exactly what is Palpatine trying to do with Rey and Kylo Ren? It's described that he's showing them potential future visions of themselves, as well as visions and truths about Rey's parents and what really happened to them, in order to not only fuel her with anger, but to also lure Kylo Ren further to the dark side of the Force by showing him what he could actually become in order to use their power combined. Now, this really does raise a lot of questions because we do know that they are changing a lot of scenes for Palpatine in the third act of Episode 9 as we speak right now, with a lot of the reshoots that are happening between, Ian McDiarmid and J.J. Abrams and, of course, creator George Lucas and what they're really trying to do with this movie. And to be honest, that's going to be the more interesting element of Episode 9, is to see exactly how Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren are all going to interact with each other in the third act of this movie. And that's the biggest thing of all, is that Palpatine is using his manipulation in this film once more. We do know that this film is, of course, going to introduce new elements of Palpatine that fans had never seen before on the big screen, as well as new truths behind Palpatine's survival, and of course, how we're going to look at Palpatine in the prequels, in the originals. That's all going to change after we go ahead and see The Rise of Skywalker. In fact, The Rise of Skywalker is said to change how we view the very ending of Return of the Jedi in a dramatic way, which is quite worrisome because we do know that Anakin Skywalker is the man who came back from being Darth Vader at the very end of Episode 6 and destroyed the Sith once and for all, at least for a couple of decades, right? So that's what JJ's trying to do. He's trying to introduce all these different visions and all of these different potential futures in the forms of visions for Rey and Kylo Ren that's going to be used as a part of Palpatine's manipulation. Hence why we do in fact see Dark Rey in the second teaser trailer that we got over at D23 that's actually said to be a part of Palpatine's manipulation. Basically initiating that vision within Rey's mind to see a dark side version of herself and what she could actually become in order to, frighten her and to lean that toward the dark side of the Force. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.